Okay, good afternoon, sir. What's your name and do tell us about your position?
Oliver Cann, Spokesperson, World Economic Forum.
Okay, second question. Why is the World Economic Forum focused on Rwanda this year?
Well, it was a good year to focus on Rwanda. There's, as we all know, African economies are suffering, especially those in commodity-dependent markets, including Nigeria. Strong dollar's not helping either. So there is a sense that the higher growth that we've been seeing is now slowing. In fact, that is the case. Reason why it makes sense for Rwanda as the host country this year is that country has never been blessed with the same abundance of raw materials and natural resources as some of its neighbouring African countries. Therefore, their government made some tough decisions and some bold investments early on, many years ago, to build institutions and to create an environment which is friendly for business and which has enabled the country to attract investment, to build its infrastructure and to establish itself as a centre within the region for higher skilled work. That said, it's also worked hard to make sure its government is in a strong situation vis-a-vis its institutions. It has lots of good qualities when it comes to bureaucratic red tape, starting a business. I think it takes 3 hours to start a business in Rwanda. There's a lot of good lessons here, and in fact we had the Deputy President of South Africa and some ministers in his delegation today tell us that he saw a lot of good work that Rwanda is doing that South Africa itself could benefit from, and are going to go home and try to emulate.
To the next question, Mr. Cann, why has the World Economic Forum been focusing on the fourth industrial revolution, and is it applicable on the African continent?
The meeting has got a distinctly technological focus. That's because we launched what we called in Davos a theme called the Fourth Industrial Revolution, because we believe this is going to change the way the world looks, how the people work together, how the people live, how the people interact. It's going to transform life as we know it today. We don't know exactly how it's going to transform, but we know it is, and we know lots of these technologies that are happening at such a pace that if we don't understand them better, then we won't be in a good position when it comes to making sure they serve humanity. That said, we didn't have a discussion in Davos particularly on the impact of the Fourth Industrial Revolution on Africa. I think that was the role of this meeting. Having said that, it doesn't mean that we were not concentrating also on other critical challenges. So we had a lot of work done in the space of infrastructure financing and sustainable development in food security. A lot of our work and the Grow Africa project is focused on Nigeria. That's a big area of activity for us. Healthcare, we were running with our partners a project in Ogun State for health insurance, which is now been endorsed by local government. So we're focusing on everything. We don't see technology as a silver bullet, but we see it as one way of making advances in almost every single area, whether it's government, whether it's financing big projects by improving the amount of information available, whether it's making healthcare more efficient and more people-centric, or whether it's helping farmers get the right price at market or the right conditions for growing crops.
To the next question, what way do you think the media in Africa can portray African countries' interests in the ICT world?
What, the media?
The media on the African continent. In what ways do you think they can promote or make?
I think the role the media can play is in helping tell the story of these great changes, because if they're going to happen to everybody, and everybody needs to know that our world is changing. Children are going to go to school today not knowing what jobs they're going to have, because we don't know what jobs are going to be created. So a lot of the jobs that we have today may not be here in 10 or 20 years' time. So we need to be thinking about the future. Sometimes it's quite frustrating because things move at quite slow paces, and a lot of the work that is done here is talk. It doesn't generate many headlines. But what we do and what we're quite good at is bringing together leaders who with whose help we're able to put together commitment, resources, energy, expertise into finding solutions, and then it's a task of governments and businesses to scale these up. And that story needs to be told, that we need to start planning and thinking ahead and being aware of the long-term issues that are going to affect our futures.
Final question. What's your take on the conclusion of the World Economic Forum in Rwanda?
Well, I like to think that people have gone away with a strong sense of direction and a strong sense of urgency. Direction because I think there's been a great amount of agreement on not just the what to do, but how to do it. And this is in areas such as, again, infrastructure financing or trade or food security, etc., mobile telephones, internet for all. We've had a lot of agreement, lots of work. This is a meeting of our communities. They work throughout the year and they come together, they assess how well they're doing, and they discuss and decide where to push on for the year ahead. So I think the direction is there, but as I said, also the urgency. I think there's a strong pressure now to start working a bit faster. Look at climate change. We know what needs to be done for climate change, but we need to get the commitments in place to make COP22 a realistic target.
Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you, Dolapo.
You're welcome.